Andy, who wants to keep secrets but take liberties?
Well, this is the government's new proposals to secretly friend the entire nation. Basically, what they want is they want it to be legally binding for internet providers to keep a record of, well, almost everything we do on the internet, really. And, I mean, this is wrong. The government should not spy on our private internet communications because that is the job of the Murdoch Empire and Google. It's just pointless doubling up, you know. It's our own fault, in a way, because we fell in love with these new shiny digital technologies that allow us to communicate incessantly and instantly, but they have come with a price. And now the government is seeking to extend its power so that they can access our emails, which are, of course, 99.99% insignificant drivel, although they're all marked as urgent. But then the government's justification for extending these powers is that it's in order so they can catch terrorists. But I think really they'll only be able to catch one kind of terrorist, which is the fantastically stupid terrorist, because no terrorist with any nous is going to use media that can be easily recorded or intercepted.
Surely if the terrorists want to use the internet to communicate secretly, they can just do it on page 2 of Google search, because nobody ever looks at it.
Well, I heard that Theresa May saying that the favourite method of communication for terrorists currently is Skype, which for some reason conjured up this mental image of sort of hardcore Al-Qaeda operatives saying, "No, we can just see your nose. Move, move your chair back. Move your chair back." I'm like, you know.
I love the idea. Terrorists in balaclavas going, no, it's me. It is me. Fantastic.
I think it's sad that letter-writing skills among terrorists have diminished so much. We think of the 19th century, there are all sorts of anarchists blowing up things, and they probably had beautiful penmanship.
Yes.
They would sit down and take the time to write a letter. I mean, a network meant something in those days.
Yeah. I thought these things were all allowed anyway. You know, I would sort of hope, in a way, that the intelligence services could look wherever they wanted to most of the time. You know, some sort of big file lands on the desk in Spooks and Peter Firth is saying to everyone, right, let's get up on the screen, there's this big Russian criminal and he's done this and he's done that. You sort of think that's okay. You don't sort of think, well, never mind what the poor criminal's done, what about his privacy rights, for heaven's sake?
Did you go to boarding school, Miles? No, it's just Matron read all our letters and you have that sort of sound that it's perfectly okay.
Right. Well, no, it's funny you should say that, because when I was at a prep school on Sunday, it was letter writing before lunch.
Yes.
So you would write a letter, and then you'd take it up to the front, and whoever was on duty would go through the letter and point out grammatical errors to you, or spelling errors. But presumably, actually, what they were doing was making sure that you weren't writing, "Dear Mum and Dad,
yes.
I expect all the Latin department are members of a terror cell."
Yes.
People keep talking about our rights being taken. We haven't had it since John Major and Tony Blair let rip. We've got the only rights that we have is we can graze our geese on common land and take things back to Marks and Spencer's.
Can you take geese back to Marks and Spencer's?
I just got the feeling that every time I do an email that somebody's actually reading it, apart from the person that I'm sending it to. And so I do deliberately put little things into the emails just in case somebody is reading it, like, you know, I hope that not too many people heard the explosion, you know, things like that, and, you know, and the bomb-making factory is coming on really, really well. And, do you know, I've got another key for Buckingham Palace. You put things in like that because you just never know what happens. Then you get strange cars parking outside your door, which is really quite nice.
David Cameron has defended plans to create secret courts and to extend powers to monitor the public's emails, phone calls and social media communications. The Prime Minister said, where there are gaps that need to be plugged, we need to plug those gaps. And it's thinking like that makes him so respected.
We didn't talk about the secret courts, did we?
No. Oh, we can do if you like.
Well, we didn't. We should have done, shouldn't we?
Well,
It's secret, Jeremy.
Yeah.
You can't talk about them.
Because MI6 don't want us to know things.
It was the CIA.
Oh, CIA don't want to tell us anything.
It was the CIA who don't want the
them.
MI6 to tell us anything.
The CIA will discover that something will happen on British territory.
Yeah.
And they will tell us we've discovered a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they won't tell us
That's what's
what the
already
thing
happened.
is.
That's what Theresa May and others has said has already happened, is that there was an incident where they discovered that there was going to be a Mumbai-style attack, And
people were going to phone us up and try and get us to change service providers. With a strong Indian accent, but claiming some ridiculous English name. Like, hello, it's Hereward the Wake caller.
No, in theory, the Americans sort of tipped us the wink that something was on the cards, but they wouldn't give us the details because they were worried it would get revealed in open court. So our security services, because they are good, we've seen spooks, then had to make their own investigation, which they did, and then they thwarted this.
They found it anyway.
Yeah.
I think there should just be secret courts that are so secret that they don't even arrest us at all, that they try us and sentence us and then just leave us alone completely. So we don't even know that we've been convicted and that we're under house arrest with a degree of leniency.
If you want to let the government know what you think of the proposal, write your thoughts in an email and send it to... Or, actually, anybody.